Well, Tristan, the scoreboard has now gone up to two. I have been right about two things this podcast, and again, trying to be very humble about it. No, but seriously, Tristan, could you tell me what I was right about? We're talking about Yakuza 7, or is it? Tristan, tell me
Yes, Matt.
what
They
we've
they
learned.
changed the name for the English audience so they wouldn't be so new people jumping in wouldn't be confused and turned away because it's got a seven in it
Well,
and it's like the original ones.
we don't know why, to be fair.
Shut up about that.
He hits me with a bat. We don't know why, actually, Tristan. I'm just as I said that would be a good marketing tactic, at least for the US market, because of the differences in gameplay. But Tristan, I
But
have
after
to.
that trailer, I don't care what Matt has to say anymore.
Well,
I'm just focused on all the cool shit that's going to be in that game.
yeah, so I'm confused, and I'll get to my confusion in a second. So let's talk about the stuff that is factual.
Yeah,
Yakuza 7, I think it was something between light and dark.
yeah.
Yeah, which is the Japanese title, Hikari to Yami no Yukue. So that actually is becoming in the West Yakuza Like a Dragon, and of course, Like a Dragon is actually the translation of the original title of the series as a whole, Ryuga Gotoko, which is kind of funny. So
Yeah.
it's just like we got it, everybody. It happened. Like no, it just you know what it feels like. It feels like calling, being like, oh, it's not Muten Roshi. Okay, it's Master Roshi. You fools. That's what it kind of feels like.
Right.
Or it feels like calling Kami Kami. That's kind of what it feels like. Oh, he's
Yeah.
Kami. That could be my name if we're going to be censored on television about it. Like that's how it feels like. It's like Yakuza, like a dragon. Anyway,
Right.
so either way, though, it is. By the way, something else that's amazing. It actually is coming out here in 2020 as well. So because that's major because we know it's coming out in Japan on the PS4 on January 16th, 2020. I don't know why that threw me for a loop there. January 16th. No, January 16th, 2020. But I didn't know when it was coming out of the US. I mean, it seems like they have all the time in the world, the localization team to work on Yakuza 7 or Yakuza Like a Dragon, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
We don't know, but it has been confirmed it is coming out in 2020, and that's really really cool to think about that we'll actually have it so close to its Japanese release.
My aching,
Um, what was that?
my aching wallet.
I know. We oh, so here's the thing, Tristan, before we move on to some other facts, question for you since you mentioned your aching wallet. So then this is a game you would buy cuz Yakuza 1. No, cuz hear me, everyone, if they're confused. Tristan doesn't own any Yakuza games. I only own Yakuza 0 right now because I borrowed Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2 from my brother. So I'm playing 0 right now. I've beaten the first one, in case some people don't know that haven't been following. Tristan, you've beaten 0 and you're in the middle of the first one. And I asked you when we talked about 3, 4, and 5 getting remastered on the PS4, that coming to the West. I said to you, would you buy that? You said, no, not really, because, a friend of mine's probably going to get it and I'll just play it through him.
I
But
mean, not right away anyway, not immediately when it came out. It's
yes,
it's definitely on that backlogged
but
list
but
that's in the back
is
of my brain.
But is this a backlog or is this a day one purchase because of its lack of connection to the original six Yakuza games? Oh god,
Maybe.
oh god, he's looking. You're like, I gotta get it. I gotta get it. It's like Tristan, you're not gonna poop it out. You don't have to have that face on. Passing like a dragon. All right. Anyway, um, we've got a little bit off topic. Tristan, are you okay? Anywho, look, so here's where I get confused. I watched the trailer, the announcement trailer, right? And even the trailer that had extra content shown into it, like, was just Japanese only.
Hmm.
To me, and you can call me a charlatan all you want to, you can call me an idiot all you want to. Not you, Tristan. You do that all the time. I'm talking about the viewing public.
Oh,
It,
I mean, I don't need your permission.
that's fair. Was under the impression that this was going to be a turn-based RPG. And I even said that in our last video talking about this. I thought that was the big concern because I saw a
Yeah.
picture and it looked like it was a turn-based RPG. And this is before we saw any of these videos. But even when I saw the video last time, I was still under the impression because we saw no gameplay. Oh, it's going to be a turn-based RPG. But it's a open-ended It's a real-time RPG.
Yeah. Is it ATB gauge? I can't remember
I
what
mean,
it's
there
like.
are,
It's
look,
the
there
time.
are gauges of health over people's heads, and I don't believe, from the looks of it, it doesn't seem like you're gonna have all these different what's what I'm looking for, these like the rush style and the brawler style, and there are going to be different uh classes like an
Yeah.
RPG.
So that will determine like what move sets you were, because it looks like
Yes.
he does have like a breaker style, like from
Yes.
Zero, and like a few other styles that we've seen,
Yeah, so you do
which I'm
have
happy.
classes. You have classes, to be fair, and you also have partners that it isn't just like, it doesn't seem like they're going to only be involved in one fight. It seems like they
Yeah.
are a party, like a
Yeah.
traveling party. But am I wrong to say that I don't see much of a difference between the other Yakuzas with this one now that I know that it's a real time RPG?
Yeah, I mean, the mechanics might be shifted up a little bit, but overall, like the fight still seems like it's going to flow like it did when it was a beat 'em up.
Yeah, which that's why I'm confused because initially I heard all this outcry and I thought, "Oh, well yeah, if it's going to jump straight to being a like you're literally just standing there and that's it. You can't move." And then you
Yeah.
hit the A button and then not the A button. You hit the X button and then you hit your bat. If it's going to be like that, then I understand people being upset, but
But if
uh
it looks this smooth, well, yeah, what's
if it's real time,
right?
why I don't know. Like, and it's funny too because someone in our last video they said, "Hey, Yakuza has always been an RPG," and I know it's had RPG elements, and technically you could call the brawler versus the dragon versus the rush a class, if you will, that you could level up. Sure, but still, I would argue it had RPG elements. This is kind of going really heavy into RPG, but it really does feel like it's just another Yakuza game, which again, maybe it's just because people were commenting before seeing the gameplay, obviously, because the gameplay just came out as we're recording this, over the
Right.
past few days. Actually, this one literally just came out today, as on the day that we're recording this. So, I don't know. I feel like all the hullabaloo was for nothing. Like all of the anger surrounding the new changes are pretty much for nothing because they don't seem like they're that big of a deal compared to what I initially thought. I mean, I wasn't angry about it, but I, based on what I initially thought, I said, hey, this should be changed. Now I actually kind of understand if it would still be kept as Yakuza 7 with the gameplay looking the way that it does.
Right.
Yeah. Tristan, anything from the trailer, either trailer, that really got you, that makes you go, I gotta play this day one, or in general, I gotta play this?
I mean, aside from the classes and the parties and what looks like really cool heat moves with possible like team attacks, like setting even all of that aside,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that I like, granted, it feels like a classic Yakuza story. You get screwed over by your family,
Yeah, a
come
little bit
back.
too classic, but I said that last time. That's on.
But I mean, it's a new family and new characters. I feel
Yeah.
like it's
Well, no,
I'm
isn't
fine
it?
with.
I thought it was a subdivision of the Tojo clan. Still,
Uh, I mean, from what
it's technically
it looked
new.
like it was a completely different family, and I thought it was a completely different
Well,
family.
I mean,
I
well,
didn't think we were dealing with Tojo again.
I thought we were, but but they're huge. Remember?
I mean, yes, they are, but
Yeah. Either way, sorry. Please continue.
um, and I like the fact that they've got other families and even like foreign families trying to come in as well. Um, but putting all of that aside, and I have to try and not slam my table so hard that I break everything or clip the mic. Um, there's kart racing, Matt.
Legit Mario Kart.
There's kart racing.
By the way, Sakaki family. You're right. I just thought that because Tojo is so big, the Sakaki family is like a division.
Right.
Anyway,
No, I get that.
so
But yeah, I think we are dealing with completely new
new.
families.
Yes. Anyway, but yeah, kart racing like Mario Kart. That looks great. I got to admit that actually stuck out to me as well.
I'm so happy. It's ridiculous, and it shouldn't matter that much, but
I
it does.
I liked seeing them looking like what to me looked like they were dressed up as like Kiss.
Right? Yeah. Karaoke, because it's probably for a karaoke segment.
I'm hoping it's not. Also, the arcade machines, one of them being Fist of the North Star related, which is funny because they worked on that game with the similar engine. What else? Also, not even just the team attacks, but you saw the car that hit that dude.
Yes. Yeah, there are like environmental elements that can come into play while you're in combat.
I'm assuming you're probably gonna have to press a button to do it, but like I don't think they're gonna actually accidentally. What was that?
Just time it right, like
I don't know. I think it's too much to time right on the PS4.
I feel like you could get it.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like you might punch him near the street and then press triangle, is what I mean. And then it'll be like, oh no, a car hit him. Like, out of context, it looks great, but I feel like just like any of the moves in Yakuza out of context look great. They still look great when doing them in Yakuza, but you have to get the environment right.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm assuming those are still going to be involved as well. Also, even though you could always equip weapons, I'm wondering if in this game they're going to see, because of showing them using weapons, it could just be them trying to promote like, hey, we still have weapons, don't worry. Or it could be a thing where it's like, hey, these weapons actually matter more because it's have more RPG, even more RPG in this one.
Yeah, or it might be specific jobs or classes using specific weapons.
Exactly,
or have access to different tiers of weapons.
Precisely.
Which would be cool.
Yes. Also, it's kind of funny too. I think I said last time I told you personally, if not on the podcast, I assumed most of what was not just from the summary, but also just from what was said. I was like, oh, I think that this character is saying this and that, and then now in the subtitle trailer, I'm like, hey, I was half right. It's just kind of funny.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I said it last time, so I don't want to repeat myself completely. I do feel weird that they're following another "your family screwed you over" story. Technically, it's because the thing is, technically with Kiryu, it wasn't necessarily the family that screwed him over. It was a specific set of people who are in the family. But like, I mean, to be fair, I haven't played Yakuza's 2 through 6, so the family could screw him over in those. Either way, I don't know. I feel like this is not. I guess because it's landing this character in jail. For me, it just feels like it's retreading something a bit too similar. But I do feel like, especially with the RPG elements, that's where it's going to end. Where I mentioned this last time, having light and dark in the name makes me think that there could potentially be a way to do certain missions. Yes, run different paths, like you just said. So do different missions that could make you either good or bad, and maybe you either you end up getting a good ending or a bad ending, and that would be very interesting and very much harken to its RPG roots. So I hope that it does that, because I think that's because I want there to be a reason for this not to be called Yakuza 7. And also I hope, as we're wrapping this one up, I hope that this does well, because I believe the developers said if this doesn't do well, they will jump back to the style from Yakuza 0 through 6.
Yeah.
But I don't want this one to seem like a random spin-off and an outlier. And then it would also get weird if now they have to be like, Yakuza 8. Like, I don't know, maybe they'll just call it something else in the US as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I want this to do well because I feel like this series needs to go in a different direction after having a similar fighting style, if you will, a similar genre for the last 14 years.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah. So,
I mean, personally, I think it'll still do well with the people who really love this series. Because I'm hype as fuck.
Oh, no, yeah. No, there are just some people... No, me too. There are just some people who have said, I'm not a fan of RPGs, so I'm not going to play this.
And that's fine.
Yeah, no. It's just weird to me now that we've seen the gameplay where I'm like, is it really an RPG, though?
Right.
It is, obviously, because we have the classes and everything, but it really doesn't seem that hard.
It is rigid, or it's definitely not like an old style RPG. It is definitely a newer age style RPG.
Exactly. So, I mean, I'm interested in it. I don't know about a day one purchase for me, because I do feel, even though this is a different story, I still want to play through at least a few of the original Yakuzas
Yeah.
first, so I already beaten 1, like I said. I want to beat at least 0 and 2 before I jump into this. So, I mean, we'll have to see what happens for me personally, but you definitely are going to purchase this at some point,
I,
seemingly.
I'm considering it.
All right. Well, either way, we'll drop it down.
I
We'll
might
throw it.
I might pull that trigger. I'm not sure.
I mean, that's fair, and again, it helps the game out. So, if Tristan, if you want another one to be done like this, buy the game. Yeah. So anyway, you could borrow it from a friend. It's okay. If I buy it, I'll lend it to you, Tristan. It's not like I haven't borrowed enough from you. I'll lend it to you day one. Hell. Anyway, but either way, tell me what you guys think about all of this stuff down in the comment section down below.